Hello and welcome to Wingin It. And so here we are, back again with another game from the Wingspan World Cup 2023. And if you didn't see our last game in that second round group stage, it was a win and it was just about enough to send us through into the next stage. So here we are into the knockout round where only 32 players remain. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward from here. It is a best of 3 knockout where these remaining 32 players battle out and try and claim that World Championship crown. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get stuck in here with our first knockout round match. This is a post-game commentary, so I will try and do my best to give some insight into the decision making as this game progresses. So yeah, we're going first in this best of 3 match, so let's jump in and see what we've got in the starting hand. And okay, we have got some good wetland options here. So yeah, yellow-headed blackbird, always a bird I like to see early on, especially with this end of round goal, and maybe even with that visionary leader bonus card as well. So, you know, the full tuck wetlands engine could be an option that we go for. Not really got any good food gaining options, but to be honest, I think in these starting hands, I would always rather have a wetland option and no forest option than the other way around. I think you can always play a wetland bird, start drawing cards, and try and find that food gaining option, whereas it doesn't quite work the other way around. If you've got the food but not the cards, you are definitely going to struggle. So yeah, as I say, definitely blackbird is my first thought. Just check the feeder. We do have some extra worms there, so maybe going for the yellow throat and the blackbird is an option, but also this Savi's Warbler, especially early on, drawing lots of cards, with that second end of round goal as well, cards in hand, definitely is another option there. And yeah, just play that, start doing a bit of digging, almost just go raven digging, you know, keep the food for the raven and see what you can find. And yeah, maybe find a raven or maybe find some other good grass and birds to really build your strategy around throughout the rest of this game. I think it is a strategy that works. So yeah, definitely that's the way I'm leaning towards. Do have that goshawk in the tray as well, so that's a bird I really like from the European expansion, of course. You don't need food, so it's great in these kind of situations where maybe you don't have that early forest bird or that early food generation. You can just pay a couple of cards from your hand, and with Savi's Warbler, I'm going to have loads and loads of cards in my hand. So yeah, play that, get a bunch of points, get something going in the forest, and just give yourself the option of getting a bit more food. So yeah, that's what we're going to go with here. Turned out to be a pretty simple keep in the end. And Savi's Warbler, also worth pointing out, does work for this first end of round goal, so we're at least going to have something on the board, which is always nice. You know, you get yourself a point, maybe give yourself a shot of winning and getting those extra 4 points as well. But yeah, I think, as I say, the plan here is probably quite simple. We're going to play this Savi's Warbler. We're going to be using it and drawing some cards and seeing what we can do. And yeah, coming around to our first turn, no messing about, no hesitation. Savi's Warbler goes down. And yeah, my opponent just keeping the one bird. So we're going to have to wait and see what that is. I'm sort of hoping it is at least a wetland bird. Otherwise, I'm going to feel a bit nervous giving cards to them. And it is indeed a wetland bird. Purple Martin goes down. So I would expect they're going to do their digging. But we're going to win the race to that goshawk. So yeah, I think there is an argument here. I know some players would be laying eggs on that Savi's Warbler before drawing cards, but for me, when you got a bird like Savi's Warbler down, you just want to start drawing. I don't want to mess about laying eggs and then drawing. If I just start drawing, I'm seeing more cards, I'm keeping more cards. There is a cost, of course, giving those cards to my opponent, but when they have good card draw themselves, I'm not too worried about that. And yeah, I want to be getting that goshawk because I think that's a great bird, not just for me, but for my opponent as well. So now that's secured, we can just carry on digging. So cowbird is a nice find, of course. These kind of pink powers, the earlier you get those down, the more benefit you can get from them, especially with a bird like Savi's Warbler, all those cup nest spaces. So that would definitely be one to look at. But yeah, otherwise, I think we're just looking for the forest birds. We're looking for those food generators. We're looking for those grassland engine birds, really, to build our strategy throughout the rest of this game. And I think, as I say, my opponent probably doing something similar there by going and digging as well. And we're just going to keep on going. So yeah, not massively keen on the stuff I'm finding, other than, of course, that cowbird We're finding some good birds maybe for later if we can get our food generation secured. I mean, we've got a lot of these bonus card birds, a lot of these big point birds. Not really traditionally the kind of birds that you're looking for early on, unfortunately. So, yeah, 4 turns into this round and 4 turns to go. The digging does not stop. So we're going to keep going. And Brewer's Blackbird is a pretty handy find, I think, in this situation. So, yeah, all these extra cards, we can tuck those under the Blackbird and get 2 points for that. And it hits the send around goal, which is another thing to be, yeah, thankful for. So opponent, they found something good. Pine Siskin is going to help them get a bit of food going. But yeah, we're going to get this Brewer's Blackbird down. So as I say, that's going to be really good for the send around. Turning some of these cards into points. Of course, it does clash a little bit with the Visionary Leader, but you're obviously getting 2 points per card with this Blackbird. And Visionary Leader only gets you about 1 point per card. So yeah, even if I'm a little bit short on the Visionary Leader, I think this Blackbird is going to be better off for me for getting some of those extra points. But who knows? I mean, if we keep going aggressive on the card draw like this, we could very well hit Visionary Leader and still score lots of points through this Blackbird without too many issues. So yeah, opponent's going to get a bit of food. We're going to do a bit of tucking. We're just going to pick whichever is our least favourite bird. I think there's quite a few here that I'm never really going to be playing. So yeah, Magpie. Since it's the first on the right, it can go. And yeah, we're putting ourselves in a decent position here. So as I say, kind of still a little bit worried about not having the food generation. We do still have this Goshawk, so we'll look to play that at some point. That'll help get a bit more food. But yeah, opponent really securing their card access. So again, not too worried about throwing cards around with the Warbler when they've got that going. And yeah, with this end of round goal secured, and I normally don't like drawing on the last turn of a round, so we're going to go ahead, play the Goshawk, and yeah, again, just pick a couple of these birds that I'm probably not going to be playing either because they're just too expensive or they don't really fit into the approach here. So yeah, we'll do that, and then I think next round is going to be where the digging continues. So, you know, maybe we can still find that Raven, maybe we can find some other kind of food generating bird, but we're going to have some options here. And there we go, finally worked out what we wanted to tuck on that Goshawk. But again, it's a pretty good play, you know, 7 points, and it didn't cost me any food, so exactly the kind of bird I'm looking for. And yeah, if I can find some more birds like that, obviously Benelli's Eagle is the kind of bird that comes to mind. I would definitely take it. So that remains to be seen as we kind of go through here into this second round. But I think we've put ourselves in a pretty good position here with this round 1 play. And there we go. As I say, it's a win in the first end of round goal, uncontested, very nice. And yeah, into round 2. So not really amazing stuff in the train. Maybe that Blue Throat might be something to consider to get us a bit of food going forward. But again, it's another co-op bird, so maybe I don't want to be giving too much more free stuff out to my opponent here. And on to our first turn of this round. So my opponent's already going and drawing. They picked up a barn owl from the trade, but they left the Blue Throat, so is still potentially an option available to me. And as I say, definitely one I will be looking at, but I think for now, what I really want to be doing is getting this cowbird down. So lots of these cup nest spaces. My opponent doesn't have a grasslands yet, so I'm definitely sort of anticipating that, you know, through their card drawing, through me giving out extra cards through the Savi's Warbler, they're going to be wanting to play something in that grasslands and starting to lay eggs. So if I can be ready for that, and if I can try and get this cowbird down first, that is going to be key for me. So they didn't play anything yet, which means we can draw cards. As I say, I think that Blue Throat is one I might be looking at, but not yet, because we do find another one of these forest plays where you don't need food in that Eurasian Sparrowhawk. So yeah, with this house wren, that could be a very handy little double play in the forest. Just build out by another couple of spaces and to help get a bit more food. But now the grassland bird goes down, and so now is when we react with the cowbird. So yeah, could kind of see that coming. Obviously, this is just maybe a case study in paying attention to what's going on. So seeing that early tray in this second round, noticing what my opponent picked up, spotting that they then went and gained food a couple of times and got the food for it. That means they're going to play it and then lay eggs. Then there we go. We get the free egg. very nice there through our cowbird. And yeah, not only does it serve the function of getting us some free eggs, but it also serves the function of just building out our grasslands that one extra spot. So when we do come to lay eggs in a bit in this round, even this turn actually, we are going to go ahead and lay eggs. We're getting another point, so that's another thing to bear in mind. So we do have this common chaffinch. I should touch on that as well, as that came up. Ordinarily, a bird you love to see when you're digging, when you're finding loads of stuff that you're not really keen on playing, and you want to be tucking those scoring points, but it clashes massively with this visionary leader. So again, if each card is basically a point with the visionary leader, each card is a point with the chaffinch, there's no point playing it when I can be using that food to play other things instead. So opponent really going heavy here on this grassland, really building that out quickly with this double play. So yeah, again, that does signal to me that they are going to be looking to play some more birds and lay some more eggs. And with the cowbird down already, that is a nice security to have. And so we're going to go ahead and do our own double play in the forest. House Wren into Sparrowhawk. Really, really nice for me in this position. So again, not only is it building out that forest, helping me get a bit more food, we're looking very nice for that third end of round goal. White and no power bird. So yeah, already got 3 down. We've got some more in our hand. Basically, our hand is almost nothing but white and no power birds. So we should be looking pretty safe and sound for that one. So my opponent is drawing. We're going to do the same because of this end of round. It is important to win that. And I think this might be time when finally we are tempted too much into this blue throat. So we do go ahead and pick that up. And yeah, I think that'll be a good one. Just to get that little bit of food. So I'm almost at that point now where I'm kind of seeing how the rest of this game can pan out, even at this early stage. We're not even at the end of round 2, but I'm definitely seeing a world in which, I get food a couple of times. We play the blue throat. We still got this Woodstalk that we picked up really early on. That's going to be a nice bonus card play. We've got birds like the Belseviria, the blue-winged warbler. That only need a couple of food, really easy to get with the blue throat. So yeah, sort of the plan has started to form. And certainly when I can go for food and get the blue throat food that I need, that helps me out a lot for sure. So yeah, there we go. Winning that second end round just through paying attention. And by going second there, I could react, see what my opponent was going to do. Did they draw cards? No. I can go and get food and still win it pretty easily. So good position to win those first end of rounds. And like I said, I think we're going to be in a good position to win at this third one as well. So blue throat is going to go down. So we are going to be giving out a bit of food here, which again, it's a little bit concerning, I think, when you're giving out so much free stuff to your opponent. But they've already got a bit of food in their supply. They've already got pretty decent forests. So, with some of these extra cards, they can discard and tuck and get a few food. So I don't mind too much giving out a little bit of food here. Obviously it's going to help them, but I think it's going to help me a lot more as well. So we're going to start getting the food here for this Woodstalk. So that is my next play. I want to see what that bonus card is, but I want to build out that wetlands, that one extra spot, because again, if I'm planning out the rest of my game here, if I'm thinking through my turns, I've got to think to myself, how many more times am I going to have to draw cards just to get cards to tuck under the blackbird, or if we are still going to hit this visionary leader and get some points off that, that is another thing to bear in mind. So we're going to lay eggs again. Plenty of stuff that we can tuck here that we're not really going to be playing. So yeah, we've got the food now for our Woodstalk, and as I say, I think we should be pretty safe on this end around. Already got 3. My opponent has been playing more, so they did just get that bold eagle down, which is a very nice play. At this point, for me, I'm starting to get a bit nervous about a big point rodentologist that could be incoming, and there's 2 more in the tray. I want to be perhaps drawing and denying those if I can. So 3 turns to go here. In this round, we're definitely going to be able to get one of these birds down. I was sort of considering at this point whether I should be focusing on getting one of the other 2 birds that I'm looking at, so the Vira and the Warbler. Maybe think about getting those down in the grasslands first to secure myself some extra eggs. But I think just the timing didn't work out And like I said, really wanted to be focusing on drawing cards. If I can get that Woodstock down before I draw cards, I'm saving myself a couple of eggs when I go ahead and do that. So yeah, like I say, plenty of options here. But for me, I think here, Woodstock is going to go down. You know, we're hoping for a good bonus card. I think Visionary Leader, it could be a 7-point bonus card at the end of the game. It could be a 0-point bonus card. I honestly didn't really know at this point which way it was going to go. So yeah, if we could be playing this this Woodstalker, maybe that Vero as well, that would be helping give us a good chance at a good bonus card. So we're going to play the Woodstalk, and we get not one but two very good bonus cards to choose from. Ethologist would be a guaranteed 6 because I'm pretty sure we're going to play one of these two white note power birds in the grass at some point. But they're both hitting Food Web Expert as well, so yeah, that felt to me like the better pick here. And then this is certainly the point where I'm starting to think about these final turns and thinking, okay, if I'm laying eggs 4 times, that gives me the 4 worms perhaps to be playing these birds. How many cards does that leave me at the end? Do I have extras to tuck? Do I have extras of Visionary Leader? Do I need to gain food once? That might have to be the case as well. Maybe I don't want to be giving out more food to my opponent. They're playing more Rodentologist birds, so yeah, I'm definitely thinking to myself at this point, they're going to have Rodentologist and they're going to score a lot of points. So that does make me lean here towards drawing cards. And yeah, certainly that red kite, I think, would be a really, really good play for them on top of their Mallard. So lots and lots of options here. As I say, just thinking about this Visionary Leader. Obviously 4 cards every time I draw cards. So potentially just 2 turns drawing cards could be maxing out that Visionary Leader for 7 points. Last end of round goal as well. Haven't even touched on that yet in this game, but Birds with No Eggs is such a nightmare at the end when you're running a Grasslands engine. So that makes me lean a little bit more towards looking at drawing cards and maybe thinking about maxing out the Visionary Leader. Did nearly go for food there, so again, as I say, this is the point where I'm just calculating, I'm just working out, thinking to myself, okay, can I get away with just laying eggs for that food? Am I going to have the egg space? And I think the conclusion I came to was no. So we probably are going to have to go ahead and gain food at some point. But for now, we are drawing cards. And yeah, just kind of assessing my opponent's situation. Like I say, pretty sure they got Rodentology. So maybe I could have denied that Broadwing Hawk as well. But I think for sure that red kite, with a low food setup as well, that's exactly the kind of bird that you look for in that position. So yeah, that had to get blocked for me. And yeah, we go closer in towards this end game, and we're going to have some very difficult decisions to make. So as I say, the ideal scenario is we do play both of these Food Web Expert birds, and that might need to be involving us taking food at least once to be able to do that. The good thing is we're secure in this end of round, so that's always nice. I don't think my opponent can do anything here to beat me, but yeah, we're currently on the max points for Visionary Leader, and yeah, 6 turns left. So if 5 of those are either tucking or playing a bird, that leaves us only 3 cards, and then that last turn drawing would only put us on 7. So we are going to take food here, and we are not going to be discarding the card. So that for me was the key this turn here. As simple a turn as it looks, just picking up 2 worms. That cemented my position, really cemented my approach for this end game. So yeah, we're going to be able to play one of these 2 Food Web Expert birds in the grasslands, lay eggs a few times, play the other one, draw cards, and that should put us in a good position, not just qualifying for this end of round, but also scoring lots of points off the Visionary Leader. So yeah, we come here into round 4 having won that end of round goal 3, so it's a clean sweep so far. We might struggle a bit in this last one, but not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, here we go. Opponent laying eggs, pretty standard stuff, I think. Now they set up their engine. We're hopefully going to get some free cowbird eggs. But first of all, we're playing this Belzerio, and Passery Specialist is an excellent pickup here. Already going to play that blue-winged Warbler. That maxes out for 6 points, so that is so nice to see. Yeah, when you can go ahead and pick up a bonus card like that late in the game. So yeah, again, 4 turns left here. I think it's pretty straightforward. We lay eggs twice, we get those 2 worms, pull the Warbler. We then play that on our penultimate turn, and then last turn we draw cards. We're going to finish on 8, and we're going to max out this Visionary Leader. So yeah, always nice, I think, when you come into this late game, into this final round, with a clear plan, with a clear strategy that you know is going to score you lots of points. So, yeah, again, this Warbler is going to max out one bonus card. It's going to get me 2 points off another. So that's going to be a really, really nice big point play. So just checking the Visionary Leader, just make sure I've done my sums correctly. Yes, we do have still 6 cards. And then, as I say, we're going to lose 2 more on the next 2 turns. And then we'll have the final turn drawing cards. So this all timed out well for me. Of course, giving a card to my opponent at the end after their last turn with the Savi's Warbler is basically meaningless. They're not going to be able to do anything with that. So, yeah, they're getting no benefit from that. Of course, I could draw now, but, you know, who knows? Maybe I give them a Benelli's Eagle or, you know, some other amazing play through that Warbler. I want to be putting that off as long as possible because I don't need to draw it yet. So, yeah, we're going to, of course, try and contain our eggs as much as possible on the birds with the most egg spaces, just to give us as many birds as possible with no eggs on them. I don't think really it's going to impact the center round too much. I think we are going to lose that. And yeah, my opponent certainly benefiting from a lot of this free food, playing some more big point birds of their own. So that made me a little bit nervous, but as I say, having a bird like this Blue-winged Warbler in my back pocket just to get that down, that was very, very nice. So yeah, strong looking score. We come here into this last turn, and yeah, drawing cards is going to be the best play because we could lay eggs, we could get 6 points from that turn, or we could draw cards and go from missing Visionary Leader to maxing out and score 7. So yeah, it's not often that drawing cards in a manner like this is your best play at the end of the game, but that's Wingspan sometimes. It doesn't always make sense. It's sometimes a little bit weird, but you've got to do the weird plays to really max out your points. So there we go, 0 points right now on that Visionary Leader. We're going to go ahead and draw cards. They're going to be not exactly what we're looking for, but it doesn't matter because we're getting 7 points. So I'd almost be more annoyed, I think, at that point if I did draw something amazing like a Benelli's Eagle. So we do lose the end of round. Like I said, not a big surprise, not too annoying. And we go here into the final score. So yeah, I did know it's going to be a big score for me, but I knew, or I was pretty confident my opponent had a good bonus card. So they're already holding on to a lead. They do have a good bonus card, but look at that, 21 for us. Super strong. We know we got a good lead from the end of round goals as well. Plenty of eggs through that strong Grass's engine. And of course, some of those tucks coming through at the end as well. It gives us a comfortable victory here in game 1, 109 to 96. So yeah, like I say, strong score. Definitely some co-op in there that inflate things a bit. Definitely some good fortune on the bonus cards, but we had to work for that Visionary Leader and play that smartly. And there we go, 10-point Rodentologist. So that's now back-to-back games. I've come up against the 10-point Rodentologist, but still managed to beat it. So definitely pleased with that. But yeah, above all, pleased with this game. I think, you know, started out with that Raven digging idea, didn't find the Raven, but we found some other good stuff and we were able to make it work. So there we go, it's a win, but the job is only half done. We have still got at least one more game, as this is a best of 3. So if you want to see that game, if you want to see if we can make it through into the next round, do stay tuned, do subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.